Alright guys, it's mkujo999 bringing you a brand new One Piece video. Today's topic, we're going to be going over the brand new OP13 leaders. First off, we're going to start talking about Portgas D Ace. Ace is a 3 life leader, red blue, 6k attack. This is pretty incredible. It's like red purple Luffy, blue purple Luffy, you know, these dual color 6k leader stat line. For the effect, it reads, on your opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand and give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 2k power during this battle. So think of like the old red Ace used to be able to trash events from hand to minus 1k. This is a lot better because it's trashing any card from hand to minus 2k. Although it is a once per turn effect, I still believe this is incredibly useful as you're able to get rid of any bricked cards in your hand for a 2k counter essentially. It essentially replaces the Izo card. Let me search this up. Like this Izo where you have to trash 1 card from hand to do the minus 2000 power. The leader Ace has that ability basically built into the leader itself, so there's no longer a need for this Izo card. Okay, so back to the Ace. This is an incredibly defensive tool, very useful, and the fact that we're already a 6k leader, it's going to be really hard for our opponent to swing into us, which is going to allow us to preserve our life pretty easily. The second half of the ability for the leader is Dawn Attach 1, once per turn. When you receive damage or your character with 6k base power or more is KO'd, draw 1 card. So basically you should always swing 7 with your leader, right? Attach 1 Dawn, and then whenever your opponent actually breaks through and attacks your life, you'll draw an extra card. That's essentially 2 card draw, right? You'll draw the life card and then draw top deck. That's incredibly useful for when you're trying to get card advantage or you're searching for a certain card. And then the second half is the same ability if a 6k base power card is KO'd. I've go ahead and brought up like a mock deck list with some one-ofs of cards that I think is also useful, but a lot of these are 6k statted, so when you play these characters out, if they are able to, you know, be KO'd, it's not a total loss since you will be able to draw 1 card to keep your card advantage. Super simple leader, 6k stat line, and the 2 abilities are both really amazing. I'm gonna go over a simple like Whitebeard package that I think you'd probably end up running in this deck. We don't have any news yet for any of the support, so I'm gonna go over some of the existing support for the Whitebeard Pirates. So we do have the Star Deck 22 Izo that hasn't released here in the America or the Western side of the world yet, but it is a top 5 searcher for anything Whitebeard Pirates related, and then you may also trash this card when it's on the field during your opponent's attack to draw 1 and to cycle 1 from your hand. Some other inclusions are nice 1 cost Vista, 1 cost Shot Blockers are amazing in this game. Vista, I'm glad we have a 1 cost Whitebeard package blocker, so this would probably be a 4 of. Whitey Bay, just a 2k statted 2k counter statted character, pretty useful. It's searchable. We have a second searcher in the form of Izo. Again, look at the top 5 for a Whitebeard Pirates type. 1 card I want to talk about is Nefeltari Vivi. I think this might have a place in Portgas D Ace. I'm not entirely sure though. We'll have to wait until the cards are released on the sim, as well as all of the support that comes with him. But I think this might finally see some play. We've been waiting for a blue leader that's multicolored to be meta viable, and I know we do have blue purple Luffy in the meta, but his list is so tight it doesn't allow for any flex cards like this, since his main objective is to ramp with the purple side, and since Ace is red blue, he does not need to ramp. So I think we do have space for something like Nefeltari Vivi for a draw 2. And then we do have the Marco. This is a PRB 2 Marco, 4/6 blocker, and on KO you draw 2 cards. So why is this good? I think this is probably one of the best cards in your deck. 4/6 blocker is an incredible stat line. It can be an attacker, it can be a blocker, and you know, if you do end up blocking with this character on KO, which includes when it blocks and dies, it'll draw you 2 cards. Additionally, your leader effect says if your 6k base power is KO'd, draw 1. So this is a 6k. So when this dies during a, it blocks the attack, it dies, you'll be drawing 3 cards. 2 from the Marco effect, 1 for the leader effect. That's a draw 3 on your block. So that's incredible value. That's the blue side of the deck right there. An honorable mention is the classic OP3 Marco. It does allow you to pop something at 3k or less. And there are some, you can add some power reduction like Otamas and white building snake. I'm not sure what way they're gonna go about building ace. So you could do like a control variant with cards like this Edward Newgate, which is another recent ST15 card. When you rest it, you can KO a 5k or less. So the idea of lowering power and destroying them is there, kind of like the red-blue Marco. However, I think power reduction is going to stick with red-blue Marco, and I think Ace is going to go a different directive, but we'll see. For more 2k power, other than Whitey Bay, I'll go over them real quick. Whitey Bay, this new Edward Newgate is a 5/6 vanilla, and this Portgas D Ace is a 5/6 vanilla. 2ks, there's quite a few 2ks in the Whitebeard package now. I just went over like the 3 most recent ones just because they're not going to be rotated out anytime soon, and none of the Whitebeard 2Ks really offer a whole lot. So you could end up just running other 2Ks like Otama or whatever else is available. But I went ahead and just added these ones just because they're searchable. The Portgas D Ace 5 cost from ST15. I think this, along with the Marco, are your core staples. A 5/6 rush. It only gains rush if your leader is Whitebeard Pirates, which we are since we are Ace. And then once per turn, if this card would be removed from the field by your opponent's effects, you may instead give it minus 2000 power. So it's incredibly sticky. You'll go ahead and just rush in with this 5/6. The opponent might try to attack into it. That's what you have counter for. Of course, if your leader, if you don't have enough counter, you can always use leader's effect to trash any card from hand and then give the opponent's leader or character minus 2k. So you have lots of counter power with this leader to save the ace. And if they do try to destroy it through the abilities, the ace 5 cost does have built-in protection. So I think this is a staple card right here. And worst case scenario, they do end up destroying it, you will draw 1 from the leader effect as well. Similarly, I think the Monkey D. Luffy offers a lot of value as well. That 5/6 rush, when attacking, give your leader or character a Rested Dawn. You'll end up probably giving the Rested Dawn to your leader. So you'll swing on 5 Dawn curve, you'll swing 5/6 to your opponent's leader, then you'll give 1 Rested to your leader, making it a 7k attacker, because you do want the Dawn attached. So you can protect the Luffy here if it does die, or you won't protect it, but you will draw off it if they manage to kill it. So we have this 2k, very vanilla. I want to mention Yamato as well. I think this could maybe have some space in the deck for this card. I'm not too sure because a 6/7 stat, I don't know if that's really something we love a whole lot, but it does allow you to give your leader a Rested Dawn card, which you do like for this leader ability, as well as give this Yamato rush. I do feel like Ace might be a deck that really likes rush cards, especially due to red decks that run a lot of rush. They tend to burn themselves out and lose cards really quickly, and the blue side of this leader does allow us to draw more cards. And especially if they end up destroying our characters, we are drawing 1 card per card destroyed. Again, we have draw like Marco, draw like Vivi, and draw when any of our characters are dead. So I think the rush is really important here. Another rush card we have is Portgas D Ace. Another rush card that gains rush if your leader is Whitebeard Pirates type. This one minuses 3000 to 2 targets, so it could help you trade for board advantage, which I think also is something Ace is going to want to do. I went over this briefly, but this does have the on play to give a Rested Dawn to your leader. Again, activating our ability for the once per turn Dawn attach 1. And yeah, minus power to some cards, and you can bring them under 5k and destroy them. The S22 Odin, I think, might have some play. It has some you know, protection against removal. It says read, if this character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effects, you may instead trash 2 cards from your hand. And that's the thing about Portgas D Ace and Kazuki Odin, is they're protected from anything. So 9 Mom bouncing it to lives, Red Rocked, Gravity Blades, you know, anything that's not KO or maybe even trashing effects. These are protected from all those. It's activate main once per turn. You may rest 3 of your Dawn, return 1 of your characters to your hand, and set this as active. So this does have, you know, like the green effect of restanding itself, which I think is pretty interesting in a blue character. It does cost 3 Dawn and 1 of your characters. However, I think that's why we're going to be playing these Searchers and potentially the Nefertari VVs, because you'd want to bounce these Searchers or the VV back to hand to allow you to draw more cards later on, or just keep them in hand as 1k counters. So there's potential here. Another MVP of the deck, I think, is one of your best ones, the OP02 Edward Newgate. The on-play reads that when you play this card out, your leader will gain 2,000 power until the start of your next turn. Then you cannot add life cards to your hand using your own effects during this turn. The second half isn't as important. I think it's mostly just a plus 2,000 power to the start of your next turn. That's kind of similar to the end of your opponent's turn, right? So when you pass your turn, your leader will essentially be plus 2. So you'll be an 8k statted leader that your opponent has to swing into, which gives you a lot of defense, plus all of the counters we have, plus your leader ability allowing you to trash anything with no counter to gain 2k, right? So this is going to be incredibly powerful. I think we really want to just search for these and just hard play 4 in a row and just win the game from pure value. Its secondary effect is Dawn attached to when attacking. You can KO 3k or less. You know, that does tie into what I said earlier. There might be some inclusions for power reduction. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but there is, you know, power reduction cards in red that the old Wiper package used to like. We are half blue though, so it might be a tighter list, but we'll see. But definitely this is a 4 of just for the plus 2 power. Some last case events, Rad Beam. You know, it's not a red deck without Radical Beam. I think this is an incredible inclusion, especially since you're a 3 life leader. After the first hit that you take, you're at 2 life, activating the Rad Beams effect. Or if you're at 2 or less lives, you get an additional 2k, so it's a 1 cost 4k counter. Whitebeard Pirate Searcher. If you really want to just keep on searching for the Newgate, this is an option. This could be a 4 of over the Ezo red, just because Ezo cannot search Ezo. So if you play blue Ezo out and you see a red Ezo in your top 5, you cannot search the Ezo, but you could search the Whitebeard Pirate Searcher, and the Whitebeard Pirate Searcher can search the Ezo searchers. So you could just chain search into chain search until you find your Newgates, your Aces, or your Marcos. Some, you know, tech choices are also the Fiery Doll. I think this could be pretty good. For 2 Dawn, you're going to give your leader plus 4k power. I think that's pretty good for finishing the game. Flame Emperor is also pretty decent. You'll be able to KO an 8k power or less, gain double attack on your leader, and plus 3k power. So this could be a pretty useful card as well. And I think that's pretty much it. I think Ace is going to be pretty fun. Probably A tier. I don't think it's going to be best deck in format. You will also have access to cards like Gravity Blade and Red Rock. This is just a few Whitebeard related cards that I wanted to throw in here. And I'm looking forward to seeing more leaks and card reveals of the support for the Whitebeard Pirates. So thank you. This has been MCujo999, King of the Pirates. If you liked what you saw today, leave a like, comment, and subscribe.